Hi, I'm Rebecca from Ingvid. In this lesson, you will learn the correct pronunciation for 20 different jobs, occupations, and professions. Now, sometimes it's not the advanced words that are difficult. It could be the basic words, such as the names for people who have different jobs. And we do use these words quite regularly in everyday life, at work, at home, or just outside. So, let's learn now how to pronounce these words. I'm going to say them for you, and then I'm going to tell you exactly where we need to stress, okay? And also what kind of mistakes sometimes people make, all right? So let's get started. So, the first one, librarian. Say it after me, librarian. So, what do we have to be careful of here? Is the extra R here. Sometimes people forget this R. Okay, so make sure you're saying that R. Say it after me, librarian. The librarian is a person who works in the library. Okay, also when we say library, you want to make sure you're saying that R here. So where is the stress here? I'll say it. You think about it. Librarian. Okay? Yes, it's here. Librarian. Okay? Librarian. Good. Ready for the next one? Let's get started. What do you think it is? Okay? Now, repeat after me. Professor. Professor. There are two things to be careful of here. This O and this O, okay? They're both reduced or shortened or said a little bit fast. Listen again. Professor. So we're not saying or, we're saying Okay? Again, professor. Very good. Now, where's the stress? Listen. Professor. Good. It's here on the fess. Professor. Okay? Very good. Let's go to number 3. Chef. Okay, pay attention to my mouth here. Chef. What's tricky here for many students, and especially from certain language groups, is, and even in English, very often the CH is like a ch sound, right? Makes sense, like chimney, okay? Or chipmunk or chop. Then the CH is like a CH sound. But here it's not. It's like when we say, sometimes to children, we say, shh. That's the sound we need here. Shh. Chef. Okay? Chef. All right? So the chef, of course, is like a very good professional cook. Chef. So this has just one syllable. So there's no particular stress in any one part of the word. Okay? Librarian, professor, chef. Good. Number 4. How do we say this word? This person designs buildings. Architect. Say it after me. Architect. Good. Where's the stress? Here at the beginning. Here, what's tricky is this CH. The CH again doesn't sound like CH. It sounds more like a K sound. Architect. Architect. Why am I repeating it so often? Because that's what it takes to kind of really change or modify your pronunciation. You need to hear it, you need to repeat it often and correctly to reinforce it in your mind and in your mouth. All right. Number 5. Very interesting word, which is very often mispronounced. What do you think it is? Okay. Now repeat after me. Photographer. Photographer. Where's the stress? Here. Photographer. Okay, once again, photographer. This word is sometimes confused because the word photograph has a different stress. Photograph has the stress in the beginning, but photographer has the stress here. Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. Cashier. Cashier. Where's the stress? In the last part. Cashier. The cashier is the person who takes the money, like when you're at the supermarket and it's time to pay for everything that you bought. You pay the person who is called a cashier. Takes the cash. Okay? Say it after me again. Cashier. Good. Number 7. Really confusing one. What do you think? Plumber. You're like, what? But there's a B. Yes, I know. It's silent. We don't say the B, okay? We just say plumber. Plumber. Okay? So if there's stress anywhere, it's a little bit here at the beginning. Plumber. Okay? And the B is silent. The plumber is the person you call to fix your repair pipes of any kind in your house. Okay? All right. Number 8. This person operates on patients. Okay? How do we pronounce this word? The spelling doesn't help you much. The correct pronunciation is surgeon. Surgeon. Okay? Where's the stress? At the beginning. Surgeon. Okay? Good. You got it. The next one. This person repairs any kind of equipment, really, but usually like a car or truck, something like that. Okay? If your car is not working, you go to the garage, and usually there's someone working there, and that person is called a what? Mechanic. Mechanic. So again, what's happening here? Stress is here. Mechanic. The CH doesn't sound like CH at all. It sounds again more like a K. Mechanic. Okay? Good. Let's look at this one. This person works in the media, might be a reporter, might be the anchor person who reads the news. This field is called journalism, and the person is called a journalist. Say it after me. Journalist. So where do you hear the stress? It's in the beginning. Journalist. Okay? So let's run through them one more time. Ready? Say it after me. Librarian. Professor. Chef. Architect. Photographer. Cashier. Plumber. Surgeon. Mechanic. And the last one is journalist. That's the last one on this board. I have 10 more for you that are also confused very often. Let's do those next. This is an important one. Police officer. Say it after me. Police officer. So the stress here is, at least in the first word here, is here. Usually you'll say this together, right? Police officer. The important thing is not to say the O like an O. Just shorten it, okay? Police. Okay? And if you're talking to someone who works for the police or who stops you for any reason, you could just refer to them as, don't say, good evening, police officer. No, just say to whether it's a man or a woman, good evening, officer. Okay? Very politely, very nicely. Good evening, officer. So then you're just going to say officer. Okay? But call the police. Police. Okay. Next. Lawyer. Lawyer. Okay? He's a lawyer. She's a lawyer. Okay, so where's the stress here? In the first part. Lawyer. Good. The next one. Okay, of course, the letters are not going to help you to pronounce this word correctly. Okay, so how do we pronounce this word? Forget the P. The P is silent. Okay, the rest of it might help you a little bit. Psychiatrist. Say it after me. Psychiatrist. Again, psychiatrist. So, where's the stress? Here. And once again, we see that the CH is not pronounced like a CH or anything. It's pronounced more like a K. Psychiatrist. Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. This one's really important, especially if you work in the IT industry, if you are a software developer or a web developer or any other kind of developer. This one is often mispronounced. So the stress is where? Pay attention. I'm going to say it. Tell me where the stress is. Developer. Developer. Okay? So the stress is here, not here. The mistake is often that people pronounce there, stress there, but don't do that. It's incorrect. Developer. Okay? Good. You're getting it. You're getting it. Okay? All right. Number 15. Again, it's a little bit confusing because of the spelling. Okay? It's not your fault. You're trying to say what you hear, what you see, but you can't do that in English. English is not completely phonetic. All right? So this word is pronounced designer. Designer. Say it after me. Designer. So what's happening when we're saying this? We see an S, but the S sounds a little bit more like a Z or Z. Designer. Also, the stress is there, right? Designer. Say it after me. Designer. Okay, good. Now, of course, if by chance one of the 20 words that I've put on the board, one of the 20 jobs is your profession or job, then of course you want to practice that one even more. Or if someone in your family, your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter, your friend is one of these people and you talk about them often, then you want to know exactly how to pronounce their profession, right? So make sure you do that. And certainly if you are one of these professionals. Okay? Number 16, accountant. Say it after me. Accountant. So, where's the stress? The stress is here in count. Accountants do a lot of counting, all right? So, let's say it again. Accountant. All right? Good. The next one. All right, what a long word. So let's say the long word first, and then I'll tell you what the short form of that is. What do you think it is? Well, it is veterinarian. Say it after me. Veterinarian. Veterinarian. The stress is here. Okay? Veterinarian is an animal doctor. Okay? It's a doctor that helps animals. Now, we also, English speakers, don't like to say this very long word. So very often we just say vet. Okay? He's a vet. She's a vet. I'm taking my cat to the vet. All right? But we mean veterinarian. But you have to be careful if you say vet, then vet is sometimes also the abbreviation for a person who has worked in the military, and that person is called a veteran. Okay? Veteran. Okay? And that person, for short, is also sometimes referred to as a vet. So be careful that you're using the right word for the right person. Okay? All right. Let's go to number 18. We talk about people who work in shows and movies a lot. Who's your favorite actor? Okay, say it after me. Actor. So what's happening when I'm saying this? Even though you see an OR, we don't say OR. We're shortening it, okay? There's a schwa there. Actor. So the stress is here, and this is shortened, reduced. We say it fast. Say it again. Actor. Good. Very good. Here, this person, male or female, might sell you a house, rent you an apartment, anything like that. They work with property, okay? So the entire term for that person is real estate agent. Real estate agent. Agent is just someone who usually like represents or sells something. Real estate in English just means like property, okay? Real estate. He owns a lot of real estate or she sells a lot of real estate. It means a lot of property, okay? Might be a house, might be a building, anything. So the stress is in this entire phrase is really on the first part, real estate, okay? Real estate agent. Good, okay? And the last one, of course, sometimes we need to go to see this person. And this person is called a doctor. Doctor. Okay? The stress is here. And once again, just like in actor, we had to shorten the OR. The same happens here. Shorten it, okay? Don't say the OR like OR, okay? Say it as doctor. All right. So we just went through 20 different jobs and professions. Let's say these 10 once again, just to be sure. All right. Number 11, police officer. Lawyer. Good. Psychiatrist. Good. Developer. Designer. Accountant. Veterinarian. Or just vet. Actor. Real estate agent. And the last one is, you say it? Okay, yeah, you got it. Doctor. Okay? All right. So these were basic, 20 basic jobs, professions, which are very often mispronounced. Okay? So make sure that you're saying them properly. And especially, as I said, if you or someone you know well works in these professions, or if you work with someone, you may have, if you have a business or even not, you may work with an accountant. You go to a doctor. We visit the librarian, talk to the librarian. You may or may not meet a police officer in your life, okay? And so on and so forth. So we want to be able to respect these professions by pronouncing them correctly. All right? So thanks very much for watching. We don't have a quiz on this particular lesson. If you want to do the quiz, the best way is rewatch the lesson, okay? Watch it again. Watch it again after a couple of days. Pronunciation takes a little bit of practice, so review, mark the words which you might be having a little more difficulty with, and practice them, okay? And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring the bell so you will know whenever we have a new lesson, okay? Thank you very much, and all the best with your English.